Hi, in the last video, I discussed uh, the properties of an algorithm or criteria of an algorithm. In this video, I'm going to discuss the research areas for studying algorithm. The study of an algorithm is requiring some areas of research. Some areas of research. I will discuss those areas of research here. There are four important areas of research we need to study. So those areas of research are, first one is how to devise an algorithm. How to devise an algorithm. How to devise an algorithm. And second one is how to validate an algorithm. How to validate an algorithm. Third one is how to analyze. How to analyze an algorithm. Fourth one is how to test the program. How to test the program. So these are the important areas of research. Whenever you want to study about algorithm, we need to know about these four important items. Devising means writing, validating, analyzing, and testing. Of course, there are so many steps for creating product or solving the problem. If you start with the requirements gathering, so gathering requirements, so designing, analyzing, implementing, means coding, implementing, and result testing, and deploying the product to the customers, into the customer system, and maintenance and documentation. Like that, if you say, there are so many steps that are required for solving the problem, but here we are not going in that much depth. Here we are concentrating on only algorithm. So here we need to study these four items. These are enough. These are the research areas or questions. Okay, now first one is how to devise an algorithm. I will explain one by one. How to devise. Devise means either designing or writing. Designing, designing or writing an algorithm. Designing or writing an algorithm. Then how to devise or how to write an algorithm. Suppose if any problem is there, if you want to solve the problem, actually by using computer we are supposed to write program. Is it clear now? But the writing program directly is not a good habit, good practice. You have to write algorithm. Okay, now we have to write algorithm. Then how can we write an algorithm? Here we need to know how can we write an algorithm. Whenever any problem P is given or P1 is given, we have to study this problem completely. So after studying problem, we know what is the purpose of this problem, what are the inputs that are required, how many number of inputs are required, what about the nature of the output, what is the nature of the input. Like that, we gather some information from that particular study. Okay, so after gathering that information, as a algorithm designer, you have to relate this particular problem related requirements with the nature of this problem with the algorithm designing techniques. Algorithm designing techniques. There are so many algorithmic designing techniques. There are so many algorithmic designing techniques. Once you relate this particular problem with a problem nature with algorithmic designing techniques, then we say that 50% of problem, 50% of answer we get, or 50% of task is over. Because every algorithmic designing technique has its own general method. We say general method or procedure. Okay, now once you relate this particular problem with any suitable algorithmic designing technique, just the job of designer or programmer is simply updating the available method, or updating the available method, or slightly modifying the available method defined under algorithmic designing techniques. We can write our own algorithm. Then what are the general design methods that are available? One is divide and conquer. Divide and conquer. Okay, now this is one algorithmic designing technique. uh, greedy method, this is another designing technique. Dynamic programming, this is another designing technique. And back backtracking, and branch and bound, brute force method. Like that, we have so many algorithmic designing techniques. There are so many algorithmic designing techniques. So we have to identify which algorithmic designing technique is suitable for solving your problem. Okay, so once you identify algorithmic designing technique, what I told, Every algorithmic designing technique has its own general method. Divide and conquer has its own general method. Greedy method has its own general method. Dynamic programming, branch and bound, backtracking, everything. Every algorithmic designing technique has its own general method. So what I told you earlier, once you relate it, just with the slight modification of these designing techniques, with the slight modification of these algorithmic designing techniques, we can write algorithm related to the given problem. Algorithm related to the given problem. Then like that we can devise or write or design an algorithm. Is it clear? Okay. So the first research area is dealing with writing algorithm. Okay, now this is the one research question now. So once you know how to write an algorithm, once you know or once you have thorough knowledge about all the designing techniques, because we should have knowledge about the designing techniques. We must study all the algorithmic designing techniques completely. Then only we get knowledge about all the designing techniques. Then only we can relate the given problem with all the designing techniques. Like that, we can select algorithmic designing technique. After that, we simply modifying or updating slightly that particular algorithmic designing technique. We can write algorithm related to the given problem. Okay, so that is the first step. Okay, so this is the first step, how to devise an algorithm or how to design or writing an algorithm. Second one is, once algorithm is available, can we say that algorithm works properly? We don't know whether algorithm is working properly or not. Then in this particular algorithm validation step, in this algorithmic validation step, we need to validate or verify. We need to verify an algorithm, the written algorithm. We need to verify whatever the algorithm you wrote. Okay, na, that algorithm we need to verify. This verification process should give assurance. What type of assurance we should get? The assurance we should get from this particular the particular step that this algorithm is working properly. Okay, na, we should get the assurance from this particular validation step that algorithm is working properly. Okay, then how we can verify? So verification process, once algorithm is available, you are supposed to give inputs, some inputs. These inputs should be known inputs. Okay, na, by giving known inputs, we can verify. Okay, na, we can verify the behavior of an algorithm. Here ultimately the verification of a process is verifying behavior of an algorithm. Okay, na, we need to verify the behavior of an algorithm. Behavior means whether the algorithm is producing correct answer or not, whether algorithm is working properly or not. So like that type of assurance we must get by giving known inputs and verifying the outputs. What do you mean by known input here? What is known? How can you say the inputs are known? Inputs are known means we are not knowing inputs. You must know the output. If you know the output, if you know the output, if you know the output of those inputs, if you know the output of those inputs, then we say those inputs are known inputs. Then only we say those inputs are known inputs. If you know the output, then only we say known, the inputs are known inputs. I will give one example. Suppose if you write the statement in program like C equal to A plus B, C equal to A plus B. Okay, na? C equal to A plus B. Suppose A value is 2, in C equal to A plus B, suppose A value is 2, comma, B value is 5. Then here going to add two numbers, A plus B. What is the result we get? A equal to 2, B equal to 5. If involve A value and B value in that expression, we may get 7 as result. You should know 2 plus 3, so 2 plus 5 is 7. Then only we say that the answer is correct and algorithm is working properly. I am giving simple example. Like that we need to verify. Okay, na? Just by giving known inputs, we can verify an algorithm. What do you mean by known input? I told you that known input is if you know the output of the respective, inputs, then we say that those are known inputs. From known inputs, it is very easy verifying algorithm. Okay, na? So after writing algorithm, we should verify the behavior of an algorithm, and from this particular step, we get the assurance that algorithm is working properly. Okay, na? From the second step, we get algorithm behavior, and from the second step itself, we get the assurance that this particular step is giving assurance that algorithm is working properly. Okay, so in first step we wrote an algorithm. A second step, we made that particular algorithm available to second step. In second step, we verified an algorithm. So once algorithm verification is over, we say that first phase is over. First phase is over. First phase is over. Okay, na? So manually, after writing algorithm, after verifying algorithm, we say that we can start our program writing. Okay, na? This is the first step. Up to writing algorithm and verifying algorithm is belonging to first phase. In second phase, you have to write. In second phase, you have to write program. In second phase, you have to write a program by selecting one well-known programming language. What do you mean by well-known programming language? If you know the entire information related to program, if you know the entire information related to programming instructions or rules and regulations, then we say that that program is well-known program. Okay, na? Just by selecting that well-known program, we can directly convert all the algorithmic statements into programming constructs or equivalent instructions. So in first phase, we are writing algorithm, we are verifying algorithm. In third phase, in second phase, we are writing program by converting all the algorithmic instructions into programming constructs or instructions. And finally, we test. I will tell you, we test. But before going to write an algorithm, we must do one more step here, that is analyzing algorithm. Okay, not only getting the proper assurance that the algorithm is working properly, we should also verify, we should also analyze an algorithm. From the analysis process, we get how much time is required to solve the problem, and we can also get how much space is required to store and run the program. Okay, na? Time we can calculate from the analysis process. The time calculation is called time complexity. And from analysis step, we can also calculate space, and space calculation step is called space complexity. So what do you mean by time complexity? The total time needed for solving the problem is called time complexity. So here we need to consider both the compilation time and run time. Okay, now, so what is space complexity? The total space needed for storing as well as running the problem. Here, anyway, we have one separate topic. That topic name is performance analysis. There I will explain how we can calculate space complexity and time complexity. Here, just we are concentrating on these 4 steps. Okay, so in analysis, okay, so we need to calculate the above two items, time and space we need to calculate. Is it clear now? So time and space we need to calculate. After calculating time and space, we come to one conclusion. Yes, this particular algorithm is working properly, and this algorithm is requiring very less time and less space for running and storing the program. Okay, so this is the third research area we need to know while studying algorithm. Okay, now the fourth one is, once by after second step, first phase is over, we are supposed to select one well-known programming language. After selecting well-known programming language, we can directly convert all the algorithmic statements into program. Okay, na? So we type that particular program onto machine. Once program is available, we can compile and run the program. So here, the testing is carried out in 2 different phases. The first phase is called debugging. Debugging phase, and second phase is called profiling. I will explain one by one. Second phase is called profiling. Then what is debugging now? What is debugging? Just whatever the program you have written, this simply or directly we are giving that just a written program as input. Then can you see what is the input to this program? Just written program. Then uncorrected program we are giving. Uncorrected program we are giving. Just a written program. Just whatever the program you written, just a written program we are giving as input to debugging process. Then we are using compiler. Just here we are using compiler and we are compiling. We are using compiler and we are compiling the program. Then what is the duty of compiler now? So the compiler compiles the program. If errors are there, then which displays the errors? Yes or no? Which displays the errors. Sometimes some compilers may automatically correct the errors, or otherwise the user or developer can correct the errors. User or developer or programmer, user, developer or programmer can correct the errors. Okay na? So after correcting the errors, generally we give the algorithm validation, we give known inputs. We give known inputs. After giving known inputs, we get the outputs and we collect the outputs. We collect the outputs and verify whether those outputs are correct or not. Those outputs are correct or not, so we can verify. Okay na? So this is about debugging. So in debugging phase is treated as a first phase in testing program, because debugging is performed by the compiler. Just the written program is inputted to compiler now for the debugging process. So this is debugging process, debug the program step by step, and if any errors are there, it simply displays those errors, and some compilers can automatically correct the errors based on nature of the errors, or user or programmer or developer has to correct the errors. Once all the errors are corrected, we say that that program is corrected program. Now program is corrected. Whenever you compile again, we get compilation success. If no error is there, then we get the result as compilation success. Then we say that that program is corrected successfully. Okay now, once program is corrected successfully, once you get the message like compilation success, then we give known inputs and we can gather the outputs from that particular program. Okay na? So in debugging process, we collect the outputs also just by giving known inputs. Then what is profiling now? This profiling is by using this profiling step, we can gather the actual time and space complexities. Actual time and space complexities. Our time and space information we get just by switching on timer. Just by switch on the timer, we can get the total time needed to solve the problem. But what is the input to this profiling? Corrected program as input. Corrected program as corrected program as input now, because we have already corrected in debugging process. So debugging process, through debugging process, we can correct the program properly. After correcting the program, anyway we collect the outputs by giving known inputs. There itself we can collect the output. But in second phase, we need to analyze the program. So that analysis process is called profiling. This profiling is taking corrected program as input, and from that, by just switching on the system timer, we can get the we can calculate the time. Once from the timer, you have to switch on the timer from starting step of the program up to ending step of the program until running completely. Once timer goes off, then calculate the difference between current time and the starting time of this particular program. We get the actual time required to solve the problem. So we should know these are the important research areas while studying algorithm. So we treat these steps as the study of an algorithm is requiring these are the research areas, or the study of algorithm is requiring the research steps like this. Okay, how to devise or how to write an algorithm, how to validate an algorithm or how to verify an algorithm, and third one is how to analyze an algorithm, and fourth one is how to test the program. Don't worry about this analysis step, because we have a separate topic, that is performance analysis. In next video, I will discuss performance analysis. There I will discuss space complexity and time complexity very neatly, or in very elaborated manner. I will explain space complexity and time complexity. There I will explain how to calculate the space complexity for the given algorithm or program, how to calculate the time complexity for given algorithm or program. And last step is, after writing program, generally we need to test the program. The testing is conducted in two phases. I told you na, debugging and profiling. Debugging is receiving uncorrected program, profiling is receiving corrected program. Then in debugging, which uses compiler automatically displays the errors. If any error is there, syntax error is there, and syntax error is there, either compiler corrects or user can correct the errors. After correcting errors, we get a corrected program. So from the corrected program, we can collect the actual outputs by giving known inputs. Like that, we can gather the outputs. And in second phase, we can gather the actual time required for solving the problem. That step is called profiling. Profiling is always receiving corrected program, which is corrected already in debugging step. Okay, next in the next video I will explain time complexity and space complexity under performance analysis topic. Okay, thank you.